Good evening and welcome. This is Whole and Beautiful, and I'm Angela Oliphant, your host. And I am so glad that you all have joined us tonight for another night of information, revelation, and change. Tonight, as you can see, I do have a guest with me, and I am excited that he has accepted my invitation to come on this show with me tonight. Tonight, we have Pastor Kenneth Daryl Ray Clayton from Patterson, New Jersey. And I'm going to let him tell you a little bit about himself. But before he does that, I want to remind you all that we are here every Friday at 7 p.m. and that I'm still have some openings for some guests. So if you would like to be a guest on Whole and Beautiful, send me an email at wholebeautiful@gmail.com and I will contact you and we will get you on. I have some things that are lined up for you for February and I'm looking forward to that also. But let's get into tonight's interview with Kenneth Clayton. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself and welcome to the show?
Thank you very much. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
All righty. My name is Kenneth Clayton, and I am a native New Jerseyan, born and raised in Patterson, which is the third largest city in the great Garden State of New Jersey. I am in my 26th year serving as pastor of St. Luke Baptist Church, which is also in Patterson. And by way of information, Angie and I are first cousins. Our mothers are sisters. Her mother is the youngest, and my mother is her big sister by, I think, 2 years. So, yeah. It's a family affair tonight.
Yes, it is. And that's what we're going to be talking about is family. So, hey, Linda, how are you? Good
Hey,
evening.
Linda.
It's going to be good tonight. I was looking at your bio and y'all, I know a lot of people maybe from Dale's church is going to be here and the different people that may know him and they know him as Pastor Clayton and stuff. I'm going to be saying Daryl a lot. So,
That's my name. Cool with that.
It's no disrespect, y'all. It's just my cousin. But I am like I was overwhelmed. I was looking at so much that was on your bio that I didn't even know. And I was like, man, this is my cousin. Hey Omar.
Hey,
Um
Omar.
and then I was like, this is my cousin. And some of these things I did not know. So I was excited about some of the things that I saw, really everything that I saw. But I was like, you are a very busy person.
Yeah, just a little bit.
He said a little bit. This bio could be a book. I was like, but I wanted to ask you one of the things is like with you going to college and going to the different schools and stuff that you have gone to, is that something that you aspired to do when you early on, or is that something that came about as you were going through ministry?
It was education was something that was drilled into my head by your aunt. I tell everybody this story. As you know, Tammy and I now, I have two sisters.
Auntie, that was your mom.
Oh, hey, mommy. My youngest sister, Mahogany, is 14 years younger than me. So Angie knows that me and my sister Tammy used to spend our summers in South Carolina with Angie and Linda, and then Josie came, and then Mahogany came. So Tammy and I come to South Carolina every summer. And then one summer, I had to be like 80, 79, 77, 78, somewhere down there. We come back home to New Jersey. And prior to that, Tammy and I shared the same room. So I guess when I got 7 or 8, she was 6. They wanted to separate our rooms. So Tammy had a room and I had a room, and we had our own this brand new furniture. Part of my furniture in my room was a garbage can, and on the garbage can had like little flags with names of colleges. They were predominantly white schools, like Princeton, Columbia, whatever. And it was from that point that I knew I was going to college. And the funny thing is, I still have that garbage can in my office here at the house. That thing is gonna be everywhere I've lived. When I die, I'm gonna leave that to somebody. But I saw the colleges on the garbage can, the names of it, and I knew that day I was going to college. My mother always drilled in my head, and Tammy said, and Mahogany said that we were going to school. It was her and my father trying to pay for it. We just had to get good grades to be able to go. So at that point, I knew I was going.
Oh wow. Wow. That's something though, because it's like when you're looking at how parents can shape their children and
Absolutely.
how they can put them in the right direction, that is awesome. I would have never thought of something like that, but
Yeah.
that's creative.
Yeah, and I tell people I don't know if they meant it as such. I think they just bought a garbage can. But when I saw
Right.
the can, that again, that was my inspiration. I knew then. I knew I was going. I knew they were going to pay for it. So I made sure I went. I made sure they paid for it. Yep.
Oh man. What about as far as like pastoring, because you've been pastoring a while.
26 years.
Yes, that's been a minute. So
Yeah.
was that something that you always aspired to do or
Absolutely not. Uh, I am again grown up in the church, been in church all my life, and I was pretty sure even as a kid that I was gonna be in church all my life doing church stuff because I like church stuff, always have. But being a preacher and pastor was not on my radar because I wanted to be wealthy. That was my goal in life, to be wealthy. I actually wanted to be either a politician or go into broadcasting. Those are my two goals. And somewhere in I guess in my early teen years, I began to feel this nudge toward ministry, which I tried to ignore as long as I could. And it just came to a point I could not ignore it. And I surrendered to that, to what I felt and feel was a call. And I've been on that path for these number of years. I've been active in ministry since 1988. So yeah.
wow. And I want to welcome Love Demonstration Church from Jamaica. Welcome Jamaica in the house tonight. We are
I
glad that
like Jamaica.
so you when you were talking about that, I was thinking I brought this and I wanted to show this to you and see if you remembered it.
Oh Lord, I'm scared.
It's nothing bad, but do you remember this book?
No,
You don't?
nope.
This is the Bible that used to be at my mom's house that Daryl would preach to us out of during the
I
summer.
knew you were gonna talk about that in the backyard. Lord,
I was like, I wonder if he remembered that Bible.
I don't remember the Bible. I remember being and outside doing that though.
Because when I went to see my mom, it's been a few months ago. She still had the Bible. I said, "Bubba, you still have that Bible?" And she was like, "Yeah, you can take it with you." So I brought it home, and then I was reminiscing about us playing church, and Daryl was the
Absolutely.
pastor, and he was the one that was preaching to us. So I was like, that would be interesting to see if he remembered the book, but.
Wow.
That's been a minute. That's been a long time ago.
Yeah,
I was,
absolutely.
I was surprised that she still had it. So I was like, after all the moves and everything.
Right.
Um, when we're talking about family, and you were just talking about how your mom molded you as far as like with college, and they didn't even really know that they were doing it, but it happened.
Right.
What is your definition of family?
Family to me are the people in your life who support you, who encourage you, who love you, obviously, and who guide you. They can be biological, or they can be people who come into your life who become those kind of people. I am very, very fortunate, very, very blessed to have biological family on both sides, my paternal and maternal side, aunts, uncles, and cousins who I love and who we laugh and do all kind of crazy stuff with all the time, whether in person or now because of social media, just social media. But I'm also blessed to have many, many people who are not biologically related to me, who became family, who I have the same trust and support and encouragement with. So it's those people, whether they are biologically related because they're your mother, your father, your sister, brother, cousin, whatever, or the people that come into your life and they become that.
Then how does that because I noticed like with your church, I see like it seems like a big family to me.
It
Like
is.
even when you get online and they're like right there and everybody there to support and everybody there to support you when you go minister, different things like that. How did that I'm trying to think, how do you incorporate that into a ministry? Because I see a lot of pastors, or hear a lot of different pastors, they're saying that they want to be a family church, but it doesn't have that like family atmosphere.
I think that comes as it has to come from the person who leads. The ironic thing about being a pastor is that in a very real way, a pastor is like a parent. I came to St. Luke when I was called to St. Luke. I was 27 years old, and I'll never get this. My predecessor served the congregation for 62 years. He brought me in to serve as assistant, and then within yeah, Linda, I was having church service long before I started pastoring. But I was trying to, I was so bad, I didn't want to do it anymore. I gave it up. But so my predecessor was there 62 years. He was 94 and a half when he died.
Wow.
The day he died, a woman, Sally Cash, I'll never forget her. We were at his house with his widow and his daughter, making like just dealing with the fact that he had just died and how we were going to go forward in terms of planning and dealing with that kind of stuff. Sally Cash said to me, Sally Cash had to be at that point about 75, close to 80 years old. I'm 27 years old. She said to me, Reverend Clayton, you're my spiritual father now. And I said, and in my mind, I'm like, lady, you ought to be my grandmother. How can I be your father? But she was correct. As pastor, I was going to become a spiritual leader and a parent. And I did become that. And I have sought to lead St. Luke in a loving way because we are family. Like they are, I am pastor, they are the people that I lead, but it is very much familial because we are family. Church becomes that, and you have to cultivate and nurture that so it can be a loving and healthy family. Because as you know, families in any context can be dysfunctional and unhealthy. So I tried to make sure that we are functional and healthy and loving, so that we support and encourage and help people go forward as we grow. But it's difficult, but it can be done.
Yeah, yeah. Welcome to Toronto, Canada. Also, thank you for joining us on tonight. It's like what you were saying. It's like it what's in that leader and even what's in that parent will flow down to their
Exactly.
children. Will flow down.
Exactly.
Okay.
Everything rises and falls on leadership.
Wow. Wow. I never thought about it like that, but it does.
It
Because
does.
they set the atmosphere and they set the environment.
Exactly.
Okay.
A leader, a parent is cast to make the decision if they're going to be a thermostat or thermometer. A thermometer registers the temperature and says it's 75 degrees, 85 degrees, whatever. A thermostat adjusts and controls the temperature. And we have to, if we want to be in a loving environment, a healthy environment, we have to control that and make that happen through how we lead, how we share, how we interact with people.
That's awesome. What would you say because I've seen it where a lot of people are trying to like conform to what they think people want in church. So they start to switch things up to maybe get people to come in. But I was like, if you do that, you're going to have to continue to do that, because if you get them in that way, you're going to have to keep this up to keep them in there.
Right.
What are your thoughts on that? It's like I see so many people trying to, like with their times, they will change like times up. They will do other things in the program, so to speak, or different stuff like that to draw people in, but it's like it may not be a part of who they are really.
Right. I think again, a person has to lead from his or her heart and how they feel they're being led to lead, if that makes sense. And leadership is really about discovering what needs are and seeking to meet those needs. So times do change. And because times change, it may cause and create for changes to happen in some way, shape, or form. But if you're meeting needs, that's what we've been called to do. So that's what we try to do. And people have social needs, spiritual needs, obviously physical needs, and we have to seek to meet those needs as we attempt to minister and do what we feel is God's work and God's given program or vision for a particular church or community to do.
Yeah, because I look at it too in that sense where everybody has like those basic needs, and if those needs are being met,
right,
yeah,
and that's our call and commitment to do that.
Okay. What do you do for fun, since you are doing so much, and I saw so much that you do, and you're always busy, busy, busy? Is there anything that you do just to say, I'm going to relax?
I'm a boring person, really. But what I do to relax. No one thinks I know how to relax. That's number one. But I'm pretty boring. But what I do to relax and to re-energize is I like to laugh. So, as you know, Josie knows this. I don't watch any like any modern, any up to date television shows. All I
Right.
watch is comedy, number one. So I watch Sanford and Son, Good Times, Golden Girls, The Jeffersons, Barney Miller, All in the Family is like my favorite television show of all time. So because the world is so serious, I deal with serious stuff all the time. I just want to laugh. So when I my downtime is sitting in front of TV and just really watching things that I have seen for the last 30 years, but watching like it's brand new to me and just cracking up like it's the first time I ever saw it. Because
Yeah.
laughter really re-energizes me and gives me the ability to deal with serious stuff, deal with some bad things at times, but yet not be consumed by it and become destroyed by it. So
Yeah. Laughter. Because laughter is and that's for me too. I love to laugh. So I will do that a lot. It's like I'll turn on different shows that I know I'm gonna laugh, and I may already know what that punchline is gonna be, but I
right,
laugh anyway. And then sometimes I will sometimes me and Linda will get on the phone, or me and Josie are on the phone, and we're laughing about stuff that happened so long ago. But
absolutely,
it's just a laugh makes you
yeah,
feel better.
yeah. But laughter is so important. Like, and I laugh. I try again. I go to bed usually watching the Golden Girls. I wake up now usually watching A Different World. So when go to bed, I'm laughing. I wake up, I'm laughing. Whatever I meet in the middle of the day, it is what it is, and I come back to laughter. And I try to
Yeah.
laugh at myself, and I laugh at other people sometimes throughout the day because that makes it go
Yeah, it does. It does. You have to laugh throughout the course of the day because I know that
every
you deal
day.
with a lot. So
Yes,
laughter would be good to just release a lot.
absolutely.
Okay. Um, do you have a person that you and I know it may be many, but do you have one person in particular that you think of and you kind of like look up to, or that's the person that you kind of pattern some things after, or did you could just kind of find your own way as you're pastoring?
No, I in terms of my role as pastor, there are several. There are a few people that I have and different people at different times have come into my life to give me an understanding or a model of what that should be like. My first pastor, who is deceased, his name was Alfred Blakely. He baptized and licensed me. He taught me many things. One thing he taught me was how to laugh in the midst of all the chaos and craziness of ministry. He was a big jokester, and like I appreciate that more now than I ever thought that I did, than I ever thought I would. My second
Yeah.
pastor, Calvin McKinney, he helped me immeasurably to understand the role and impact that a pastor and minister can, should, and must have in terms of how one leads the congregation, how to interact with the community, and stuff like that. So like he was a pivotal person, and then along across the years, other people have come into my life who have helped give shape and direction to that understanding as well. And
Okay.
everybody needs mentors and models, and I'm grateful that I've had them, and I still have them now because they're people that I lean on and look to for. Sometimes not even just. Sometimes I can reach out and call them and talk to them and say, "How do you do this? How do you handle that?" But sometimes just the fact that I watch how they do what they do. Uh,
Mm.
we're talking about again this whole idea of being family and being loving. There's
Right.
a man who pastors in Ohio, Bishop Timothy J. Clark. He pastors First Church of God in Columbus, Ohio. We have been friends and family for like 15, almost 20 years now. But First Church is a church of thousands of members. And I marvel because when I go to preach for him, like we'll be walking through the halls and he'll stop and start talking to people, and he gives everybody attention. He gives everybody like their 2 or 3 minutes, and he talks to them with lovingly. And I'm like, can we go to the office? Can I sit down? Well, he's like, oh mother, how you doing? How da da? And I'm like, oh, but he showed me and he models for me the importance of no matter how great a person may be or how big we might say they are, it's important to be big at home among the people that you serve primarily. People are big superstars out on the road, but among their people, they don't have that same kind of love, but because it's not nurtured. He showed me the importance of cultivating and nurturing love with and for the people that you lead and that you serve. So yeah, I've had many models like that.
Wow. Wow. And that a lot of that you don't see. Oh man, but that's awesome to have that type of role model, to have the type of leadership,
Yep,
to be somebody to be able to show how to walk it out.
exactly, exactly.
Um, whew, when you well, I asked you that and you said no. Okay.
What did I
um,
say no to?
you no, I was asking when you were serving, like when you were serving in the ministry and
Oh,
everything, did you ever think that you would be where you are, like right
nope,
now?
nope,
And he said, nope.
nope. I know because again, this even though I used to preach to y'all and y'all were just bad. Uh, I never had I never had a notion or dream or desire to be a pastor, honestly. And so when I finally succumbed to it, and surrendered to it, it's like, okay, I don't really want to do this, so but I got to do it. So like I've struggled with that, and as so and I so then you I struck my struggle with, man, how you do it effectively. And again, I've had to go discover how important people are. Even though I like to laugh, I'm a loner by nature. So being around people and being forced to be around people, sometimes that you don't know. In the case of going to a new church and something like that, it was difficult for me. But again, I learned to really love people. I love people for where they are, for who they are. And it's not trying to get what I can get out of them. It's just because I believe that love is a great initiate of that helps develop relationships, and love when it's genuine, it helps bring connection and among people. So when people know that somebody said people don't care how much you know till they know how much you care. When people know that you
Right.
care about them, that is what creates the ability to connect and to grow, even when there are differences and difficulties in life and in relationships, and there are in every relationship.
Yeah, there are. And welcome, Francina. Thank you for coming on tonight. Francina is a regular here at Whole and Beautiful. Thank you.
Ah,
Um, I read in your bio where they were saying it says that a sermon that you wrote, How to Stop Sisters from Crying,
yep,
was published in a book. Is
yes.
that anywhere on a video or a DVD or something?
As an old sermon. It's actually an old Father's Day sermon. I remember it clearly, but I'll send you the book. I have some copies. I'll make sure I send you one this week.
Okay, because I was like, oh wow, I would like to hear that. I was like, I need to read that. I want to hear it because that was one thing that I did not know, and I was like, this is published in a book,
Yeah,
guys. Y'all can. Is there any way that anybody could get the book if they want the book?
yeah. The book. It is the book. I'm trying to think of the name of the book. It's a book of sermons
Oh,
published from men. The editor is Bishop John Guns. Uh,
is it
I'll see the information because I do have it.
okay? And guys,
Yep.
if you want the book, let me know, and we will get the information to you so that you can get a copy of the book. Because I was like, oh, I want to hear that. I would like, I mean, it's going to be good to read it, but I would love to hear you minister it.
I'll
I,
try to. I know we have it on tape somewhere, St. Luke, but it's old. But I'll try to find it.
okay,
Yep.
that'd be great. That'd be great because I think that I was like, whoa. Even the title, I was like, okay.
That
But
sermon has a line in there. When I originally preached it, I said something that your aunt like kind of made her blush a little bit. So that's not in the book though. But so when I think of that sermon, I remember that. Like when I looked up at the goal, that I pushed a little bit with that one. But yeah, I do that sometimes. Sometimes.
oh my goodness. Um, what? Let's see. In your bio, also it says that you're a pastor determined to know Christ and to make him known. I have heard you say that like from the beginning, really, like hearing you say that. What does that mean to you and the ministry where you are
It's
now?
for us that statement has guided and is yet guiding what St. Luke has done for the 20 years I've been there. I believe that as Christians, we have a commitment, a responsibility to know Christ intimately, seriously, and consistently. We know Christ. We develop a knowledge of Christ through worship and through study. Once we are growing, because you don't just do that and it's done. It's an ongoing, evolving pursuit to know him more clearly, to know him more intimately, to know him more sincerely. As we grow in our pursuit of knowing him, we have a responsibility to share Christ with other people. And we do that through opportunities for individual witness and sharing. And as a congregation, we have a commitment as a church, particularly in the urban area as we are, to make Christ known in ways, as we said, that are practical ways that demonstrate the reality of who we are, what we believe, so that it is an opportunity for us to share Christ. So that statement, as simple as it sounds, it is a difficult, evolving reality that we try to put into practice by what we do.
And I noticed you do like a lot as far as like with the community too.
Yep.
That is a lot that has to do because you have to know your area and you got to know what's needed and start operating in there. How did that come about as far as you doing like with the CDC and then having all the different programs that you have for the community? How did all that start?
It's again, it was the simple way to say it is just God made it happen, and He did. But it was again our commitment, or my commitment when I came to St. Luke, was to lead our congregation into a deeper knowledge of Christ, which is again, that's not a one-shot deal; it's ongoing. So we do that a variety of ways, but I believe that a true model and demonstration of faith and action is faith that produces works. And the work has to benefit and be a blessing and a help to people beyond those who sit in a particular congregation week after week, year after year. So you have to look at what we can do for those who are beyond the walls. So we did an investigation of our community. Patterson is the third largest city in the state of New Jersey. Our congregation is located in the fourth ward of the city, which is probably the most violent ward in the city. Has the high statistics of drug use, of poor schools, prostitution, drugs, whatever the bad stuff for you and name, it goes in the fourth ward. Literally, probably goes on right around our church building, which for me is not a bad thing, because those negative things, those seemingly negative things, are really great opportunities. So we began to look at the stresses or the needs of our community, and then try to develop ministries and programs to help address those things. The CDC was organized to help us do beyond in the church setting what we could offer our community through programs that help in different ways. So through the CDC, we operate a food and clothing pantry that serves about maybe, I think last year we served almost 8,000 people. We have a transitional house for women that provides a safe place for women to live if they come out of jail or an addictive or rehabilitation center, something like that. We do computer classes we have a state-of-the-art computer lab that does computer training for senior adults. Right now, we're offering classes for them. We let another men's shelter use it. The summer we do classes for children and young people. We operate an after-school program, a summer camp, and a summer enrichment program called Freedom School, which is an offering to Children's Defense Fund. So we looked at the needs. The lack of education was a need. Computer literacy was a need. Literacy, period. We have a reading program. That's a need. So we started to figure out what the needs of our community were, and God literally sent us people and is sending us people who are able to help meet those needs in various ways. The big thing in the Black community is mental health. We've operated, had on our staff for the last maybe 15 years, persons who are counselors who provide mental health counseling and that kind of stuff. So like we're trying to see what the needs are. We have the people there who are placing those needs to help people become whole. The title of your program is Whole and Beautiful. The idea of being whole, WHOLE, is so important because many people live broken, dysfunctional lives, and many people who live that way are living under the guise of being Christians. So they sing, they shout, they pray, they love the Lord, but they're just so jacked up in other ways that they don't want to address and get better, and so you're not whole. So real faith is not about the physical demonstration or expression. It's about becoming whole from the inside, where we are able to live whole lives and help other people who are broken live the same way.
Right. I love it. Oh, I love it. Oh man, that's great. I love it because I look at different things. I observe people. I don't talk a lot until I'm like around people that I really know, and then I'll talk a lot. But I just observe different things, and I was like, it's just like you were saying, and I was saying it's good to hear somebody say it because in the communities and stuff where we need people out there in the community and
Right.
working with the people that are in that community.
Right.
And not just trying to get people to come into the church and just be in the church and that's it.
Right. Right.
For so long, people have been sitting there, like you said, and they're not whole.
Right. And whole people, I mean, broken people can't make people whole. People who are being
Right.
whole will help other people become whole.
Yes. And we need to be about being whole so we can
Absolutely.
have some other people that's whole. And then it will
Absolutely.
build and it overflows into our families also.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay.
A problem with people, and I mean, I'm black, so I know black people better than anybody else, is that we don't want to be honest with ourselves or others. But
Right.
once you become honest with yourself about yourself, good, bad, and ugly, people say to me all the time, and literally, as you know, Josie, and Linda can attest, I have no filter. I will say anything, just about anything, at any
Right.
time about anybody. But
Yeah.
and St. Luke knows that, but I'm that way with myself. So if you tell me, oh, this is wrong with you, if you're right, I'll be like, yeah, you're right. So if I'm honest with myself, I can be honest with you. But
Right.
until we are really willing to be honest with ourselves, because we're honest about good stuff, but not about the bad things. But
Yeah.
honesty is the first step and acknowledgement toward becoming whole. But so when I become honest with me and I want myself and I work on myself getting better, I want the same for the people that I'm around and the people that I love because I want to encourage them. Be true to yourself. No, be honest with yourself, look within, and do what you got to do to get better. So yeah,
Yeah. Because people, I don't know why, but a lot of people they get offended and get upset when you tell them that wrong thing. And it's not that you're coming at them and tell them the wrong thing to just like harp on them and make them feel bad.
right.
Somebody could be sharing something with you that's going to help you, but they're allowing you to see some stuff. And people just get upset. They don't like confrontation. They don't like to talk about truth. They rather just brush over that and
Right.
keep it all happy. But everything is not all happy all the time.
Nope. Unfortunately, life has some bitter moments and some painful moments, but you can, as you and I go through them, we can grow through them if we allow ourselves to.
Yes, that we can do. We
Yeah.
can do that. And if we will allow ourselves to do that, yeah. Because we need
Yes,
to
we
really
can.
be honest. And that's good. I like that because we need to be honest with ourselves. Because if we are that with us, then we'll be that with other people. And
And,
that's the
and
best way to
and
be.
and people know when you're real.
Yes,
Like people can feel your authenticity. So when you're real with yourself, that's not just it's not just being transparent and just saying whatever. It's a matter of acknowledging that I'm not perfect.
right.
I have my flaws, and when people see that you are real about you, they don't mind sharing their flaws with you because they know we're all trying to grow and go together. But when you put a sense of perfection that no one has ever attained and no one will, then people like I can't like if she's perfect, I can't be like her, so I'm just not even gonna be bothered. And that's how we have lost people trying to persuade them or make them feel that we're something that we're not. And they feel they can't do it and we're not doing it, so we lose them.
Right, right. And we do that so much with like just family in general, and people they can't be honest and be truthful with each other. There's so
Right.
much secrets and so many things that's going
Yeah.
on, and people just won't be open and just
Yeah.
talk to each other. And if they would better get along, and they find out they got a lot in common too.
Absolutely.
So, oh wow, this is so good. I'm gonna ask you this because we got a little bit more time. And yeah, Fresh, and it's the truth. The truth sometimes it does hurt, but
It
then
does.
will heal too.
Absolutely.
It hurts, but then it'll heal. It's like, but when we can be honest with ourselves and it's a freeing thing too.
Yeah.
You walk in a level of freedom, and I have noticed like with myself as I get older, I was like, I just kind of say what I need to say. When before I would hold stuff in and not say, oh, I don't want to hurt this person's feelings, or I don't want to do this, and I would just stuff all that stuff. I'm thinking about it. Somebody else done gone on about their business, and it's still rolling on me. But I was
Yeah.
like, no, I'm not gonna do that no more.
See, you're nice. I've always people say as I've gotten older, I've always been that way. I'm gonna say what I gotta say, like it or lump it. The truth hurts. I'm gonna keep on moving because people.
Yeah,
If I go to the doctor, I did one of my annual checkups the other day. My blood pressure is always perfect, and they go, "How can you be a minister?" Because I say what I gotta say. Like that's it. Like I don't keep stuff in. It is what it is.
yeah, because it weighs on your body when you
Absolutely.
don't, if you're not open, and like you said, you're not being like coming at somebody to hurt them. It's
Right.
just I'm gonna tell you the truth, and
Right.
you know when you come, you're gonna get the truth.
Right.
You should be grateful for that.
Yeah.
But I wanted to ask you this other question was that the when if you could go back in time and talk to the 21-year-old Kenneth Darrell Ray Clayton, what
Hmm.
type of advice would you give to him?
Well, I cannot
What
tell you
would
the answer that I
you
gave you privately. I don't know who's watching this, but I would say publicly, I will say that I would tell 21-year-old Kenneth Clayton to probably listen. Then yeah, listen to your father, and don't think you know it all, because I thought I knew it all. Like, and I guess that's part of being that age, being cocky and young and thinking that you're smart. But so one, definitely listen to my father. I don't know if I would have did what he said do, because I didn't do what he said do, but listen to him. Like, really take it in. Listen to him. But don't think you know everything. And that's for real. Don't think you know everything, because I realize now, and I am 32 years from being 21. I'll be 54 in September. So 30 plus years later, I realize much more how my father was right about a whole lot of things, and how I just dismissed a lot of what he said when I should have taken it to heart better.
Yeah, yeah. It's like you go back and you look at those things, you're like, ah,
Yep.
yeah. But then they let you grow. It's like, okay,
Oh
that's
yeah.
of course that's what you want to do. Then
Yeah.
it's like, they let us
Absolutely.
go and grow, and then we
Yep.
find out, oh
They
man,
were
okay,
right. Yep.
yeah.
Dang, they were right.
And then we try to teach our own kids, and
And they
they
don't
do
listen.
the same. They don't
That's
listen.
right. So 30 years from now, my kids will be saying, "Oh, he was right. He was right." Yeah, but yeah.
Yeah, but it's like looking back at it, everybody was like, "Oh yeah, they was right." But in the moment, you think you got it, and you
Yep.
think no. Oh
Absolutely.
man, is there like a particular quote or particular scripture or anything like that that encourages you and keep you moving, keep you going?
Actually, now I'm not saying this. This probably I got to find Martin Luther King Jr.'s quote about serving has always inspired me, because he says simply, "Everybody can be great because everybody can serve." And I think that most of us in life, not necessarily ministry, but in ministry and all areas of life, people want to be great. They want to be successful. The success is defined on what they think success is. But Dr. King said, "No, everybody can be great in life because everybody can serve." And I think that if we really understood, and then undertook serving as a means of helping others, helping our community, helping people, if we did that as a means of being great, our families, our communities, our churches will be a better place. We have people who want to be served, but they don't want to serve. And that
Right.
is what's crippling us.
Yeah. Yeah. Because they get in a position and now they want everybody to serve them. They're not
Right.
serving. Yeah.
Right. And we talk about in our community now how, oh, remember when people used to do things for people, now that all kind of stuff, we have become selfish and not selfless. And it's
Right.
because we don't see serving others as a noble or glorious task when it is. And it takes on so many different ways. It's just about helping people, helping our community, that's serving, but that is the way that we make the world great. We make the world better, and we become great in the process by helping others.
Yes, we do. We do. We do. That is awesome. Yay. Um, what do you look for, like, what do you think your future is going to be like as you move forward in pastoring and doing all the things you've done so much up until this point? Is there anything else like on your radar that you're saying, I want to do that, or that's something else I want to accomplish?
I don't know if I have specific things at the moment. There's some goals that I'm using and trying to figure out some specific things, how to make certain things happen. But I think that the pandemic has created for us a great opportunity uh, as to how we do. Like, we're literally starting all over again in so many ways,
Yes.
uh, because the pandemic has shut us down. It has disconnected us. It's made us afraid. It's made us scared. So we're starting all over again. And it has affected people, I think, mentally, and our social skills are definitely at like almost below zero. So we have to figure out ways now how to help people live in this new environment that is filled with fear and anxiety and frustration, and how we work to make people feel whole and safe. And I just see it in so many ways. Like educationally, our kids are at an educational deficit. They've suffered a loss for the last 3 years, so we got to do work on that. Socially, we're scared to interact with people. Like again, when you go out, even in church, like we don't hug anymore. Like we don't kiss anymore. Like you don't know. Like your aunt won't hug anybody, so you got to like don't come near me. Like all that kind of stuff. So and like we have to work through that because we are made to be interrelational, interdependent, connected people. So we got to figure out to work through that kind of stuff. And our communities, particularly urban communities, are suffering greatly because we were already bad pre-pandemic.
Right.
It's worse now, so we got work to do. And the church has to be an agent of transformation and healing in those communities.
Wow, that is awesome. I want to thank you, Daryl. We are closing up. We get to the end. Is there anything else that you would like to share before we end this broadcast on tonight?
Just thank you for the opportunity to share. It's been my joy and pleasure. And yeah, like I'm glad, I'm grateful that you have this platform, and I will continue to support and watch you as I have in the past because it's a great thing. So yeah.
Thank you. And I wanted to tell you too, I was so excited that you could get on here on tonight because I know how busy you are, and I know you have to do a lot of different things. And
I'm a single man. I have nothing to do on a Friday night. I'm just gonna watch the Jefferson in a little while, so it's okay.
You sound like me. I'll be there too, watching the same.
Absolutely.
But I was just excited that you decided to come on and everything. You were one of the people that were on my list. Like I have my wish list of people that I want on my show, and you were on my list. So the fact that I get you on here and you're the first one that I can mark off my list, like, yeah, he's come. So
it was my honor and pleasure, really. I mean that.
Well, thank you so much, guys. I thank you all for joining us tonight. I thank you for being here and allowing us to come into your homes and come on your radios and your different avenues of listening. And I want you to join us again tomorrow at 4 p.m. This will be a replay on tomorrow at 4. Thank you, Linda.
Thank you, Linda. I didn't talk about you either. I got some stuff I could have said, but I kept it.
Tomorrow it will be a replay at 4 p.m. So if you missed any part of this broadcast, you can go back and re-listen on tomorrow. And join me again next week on Friday at 7 p.m. I'll be right here. I am Angela D. Oliphant, allowing you to see, hear, and to know that whole and beautiful is not just your destination. It is most definitely your journey. Love you guys. Talk to you again next week. Good night.
Good night. Be safe and well, everybody.